Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you didn't truly belong, even when everyone around you seemed happy? Have you ever stayed quiet during a conversation, not because you had nothing to say, but because your mind was already thinking 10 steps ahead? Some people assume that being highly intelligent makes life easier. They imagine that smart people always have the answers, make better decisions, and live happier lives. But psychology paints a much more complex picture. A highly analytical mind can become both a gift and a burden. It notices patterns others ignore, asks questions that most people never consider, and constantly searches for deeper meaning. While this ability can lead to creativity and success, it can also bring loneliness, mental exhaustion, and the feeling of being misunderstood. In this video, we'll explore the hidden psychological struggles that many highly intelligent people experience. These are not signs of weakness or illness. They are often the unexpected consequences of a mind that processes the world in a very different way. By the end of this video, you may discover that some of the challenges you've faced have a psychological explanation you never knew existed. The truth about intelligence. What does it really mean to be intelligent? Many people believe intelligence is simply about having a high IQ, getting good grades, or solving difficult math problems. But modern psychology suggests that intelligence is far more complex than that. True intelligence is often reflected in the way a person thinks, learns, adapts, and solves problems. Highly intelligent people tend to ask deeper questions, notice hidden patterns, and look beyond the obvious. Instead of accepting information at face value, they naturally analyze it from multiple perspectives before reaching a conclusion. However, this powerful way of thinking comes with a cost. A brain that constantly searches for meaning rarely gets a chance to rest. Everyday situations that seem simple to others can become mentally demanding because the mind keeps exploring possibilities, connections, and consequences. This doesn't mean every intelligent person experiences the same challenges. Personality, emotional intelligence, life experiences, and environment all play important roles. But for many people, a highly active mind can become both their greatest strength and their greatest challenge. Understanding this is the first step toward understanding yourself. Why does small talk feel so exhausting? Have you ever wondered why some people quickly lose interest in casual conversations? Topics like the weather, celebrity gossip, or everyday chit-chat may seem enjoyable to many, but for some minds, they feel surprisingly draining. Psychologists describe a personality trait called need for cognition. People who score high on this trait naturally enjoy thinking deeply, exploring complex ideas, and solving challenging problems. Their brains are stimulated by meaningful discussions rather than surface-level conversations. This doesn't mean they dislike people or believe they are better than others. In fact, many highly intelligent individuals genuinely want to connect with others. The challenge is that they often feel more engaged when discussing ideas, human behavior, science, philosophy, or personal growth instead of repetitive daily topics. Because of this difference, they may appear quiet, distant, or even unfriendly. But the reality is often much simpler. Their minds are searching for conversations that spark curiosity and provide mental stimulation. For them, a single deep conversation can feel far more satisfying than hours of endless small talk. The price of deep thinking. Have you ever been asked a simple question but found yourself unable to answer immediately? While others respond within seconds, your mind begins exploring every possible angle, searching for the most accurate answer instead of the fastest one. This is often linked to deep cognitive processing. Rather than reacting instantly, some people naturally evaluate context, consequences, and alternative explanations before they speak. They are not slow thinkers, they are thorough thinkers. The downside is that this habit can become mentally exhausting. Every important decision, every conversation, and even small, everyday choices may require far more mental energy than most people realize. As a result, others may misunderstand them, assuming they are indecisive, shy, or lacking confidence. In reality, they are often trying to avoid careless mistakes. Their minds prefer accuracy over speed and depth over simplicity. While this ability can lead to better judgment and creative problem solving, it can also create stress, mental fatigue, and the constant pressure of feeling that every decision must be the perfect one. Social misunderstanding. Have you ever felt misunderstood, even when your intentions were good? For many people with highly analytical minds, this is a common experience. They may communicate with logic and facts, while the people around them are looking for emotional connection and empathy. Psychology suggests that intelligence and emotional intelligence are different abilities. A person can be highly skilled at solving complex problems and still need to develop skills like reading emotions, understanding social cues, or expressing feelings in ways that others easily understand. One does not automatically determine the other. Because of this, highly analytical people may sometimes come across as cold, distant, or overly serious, even when they genuinely care about others. Their words are often focused on finding solutions, while the other person may simply want to feel heard and understood. Learning to balance logic with empathy can transform relationships. Sometimes, people don't need the perfect answer. They need someone who listens without judgment. When analytical thinking is combined with emotional awareness, it becomes much easier to build trust, strengthen friendships, and communicate in a way that truly connects with others. Why is it so hard to find real friends? Have you ever been surrounded by people but still felt completely alone? For some individuals, the challenge isn't meeting new people, it's finding someone who truly understands the way they think. Psychology suggests that people often build stronger friendships with those who share similar interests, values, and ways of seeing the world. This idea is known as the similarity principle. When conversations, curiosity, and life goals naturally align, trust and connection tend to grow more easily. For people who enjoy deep thinking, meaningful conversations are often more important than having a large social circle. They may prefer one honest friendship over dozens of casual relationships. Because of this, they can spend a long time searching for people who genuinely understand them. However, being different doesn't mean you are meant to be alone. Real friendship isn't about finding someone who thinks exactly like you. It's about finding people who respect your perspective, appreciate your authenticity, and make you feel accepted without pretending to be someone you're not. Sometimes, one genuine connection is far more valuable than 100 superficial ones. Overthinking and analysis paralysis. Have you ever spent hours thinking about a decision that should have taken only a few minutes? Whether it's choosing a career, making a purchase, or sending a simple message, your mind keeps generating more possibilities, more questions, and more what-if scenarios. Psychologists often describe this pattern as analysis paralysis. It happens when the brain becomes so focused on finding the perfect choice that making any choice at all starts to feel difficult. Instead of reducing uncertainty, excessive thinking creates even more uncertainty. People with highly analytical minds are especially vulnerable to this habit because they naturally consider long-term consequences, hidden risks, and alternative outcomes. While this careful thinking can prevent mistakes, it can also delay action and increase stress. The truth is, not every decision needs to be perfect. In many situations, taking a reasonable step forward is better than waiting endlessly for absolute certainty. Progress comes from action, not endless analysis. Sometimes the smartest decision is simply to begin, learn from the experience, and adjust your path along the way. Mental exhaustion and the need for solitude. Have you ever left a crowded place feeling completely exhausted, even though you didn't do anything physically demanding? While some people feel energized by social gatherings, others feel mentally drained after just a short time. Psychology suggests that every brain processes information differently. Some people naturally pay closer attention to conversations, facial expressions, background noise, and the emotions of those around them. Because their minds are constantly processing so much information, social environments can become mentally overwhelming. This is one reason why solitude can feel so refreshing. Spending time alone doesn't always mean someone is lonely or antisocial. For many people, it is simply a way to recharge, organize their thoughts, and give their minds a break from constant stimulation. The key is finding a healthy balance. Meaningful relationships are important, but so is protecting your mental energy. Taking quiet moments for yourself can improve focus, reduce stress, and help you return to the world with a clearer mind. Sometimes, a little solitude is not an escape from life. It is the way we prepare ourselves to face it again. The constant search for new challenges. Have you ever noticed that after mastering a skill or completing a goal, the excitement quickly fades? While many people enjoy routine and stability, some minds naturally crave novelty, complexity, and continuous learning. Psychologists have found that curiosity and the desire for mental stimulation can be powerful personality traits. When people encounter a new idea, solve a difficult problem, or learn an unfamiliar skill, the brain's reward system can make the experience feel exciting and motivating. This is why many highly curious individuals are always searching for the next challenge. The downside is that repetitive tasks can start to feel boring over time. A job, hobby, or daily routine that once felt exciting may lose its appeal once there is nothing new to discover. If this pattern isn't managed well, people may jump from one interest to another without developing long-term mastery. The healthiest approach is to balance curiosity with consistency. Keep exploring new ideas, but also give yourself enough time to grow your skills. True success doesn't come only from starting exciting journeys. It also comes from staying committed long enough to see meaningful results. Perfectionism and imposter syndrome. What if your greatest achievements never feel good enough? For many high-achieving people, success doesn't always bring confidence. Instead, every accomplishment creates even greater pressure to perform perfectly the next time. Psychologists describe maladaptive perfectionism as the habit of setting unrealistically high standards and judging yourself harshly whenever you fall short. Instead of celebrating progress, the mind becomes focused on every small mistake. Over time, this constant self-criticism can lead to stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Another common experience is imposter syndrome. Despite working hard and achieving real success, some people secretly believe they don't deserve their accomplishments. They worry that others have overestimated their abilities and fear that one mistake will expose them as a fraud. It's important to remember that imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern, not proof that someone is actually incapable. The truth is, perfection is not the goal, growth is. Every expert was once a beginner, and every successful person has made mistakes. Real confidence comes from learning, improving, and accepting that progress matters far more than perfection. How to balance your intelligence. Having a sharp mind is a powerful advantage, but true wisdom comes from knowing how to use it. Intelligence alone doesn't create a fulfilling life. The real goal is learning how to balance deep thinking with emotional well-being and meaningful relationships. Start by accepting that you don't have to analyze everything. Some decisions only require good enough, not perfect. Giving yourself permission to act without endless overthinking can reduce stress and build confidence over time. Next, make space for both learning and rest. Your brain needs challenging ideas, but it also needs moments of silence, relaxation, and recovery. A constantly active mind performs best when it has time to recharge. Finally, invest in emotional intelligence. Listen carefully, show empathy, and remember that not every conversation is about finding the smartest answer. Sometimes, understanding another person's feelings creates a stronger connection than solving their problem. The strongest minds are not those that think the most. They are the ones that know when to think deeply, when to let go, and how to live with balance. That balance is what turns intelligence into lasting strength. Powerful conclusion and call to action. If you recognized yourself in several of these signs, don't rush to label yourself as a genius or assume that something is wrong with you. These experiences can happen for many different reasons, and they do not, by themselves, prove that someone is highly intelligent. Every person is unique, shaped by their personality, life experiences, and environment. What truly matters is not how high your intelligence is, but how wisely you use it. A brilliant mind becomes even more powerful when it is guided by self-awareness, emotional balance, curiosity, and kindness. Intelligence is not just about knowing more. It's about growing, adapting, and making better decisions throughout life. Remember, your greatest strength is not thinking more than everyone else. It is learning when to think deeply, when to take action, and when to simply enjoy the present moment. That balance is where real wisdom begins. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more fascinating psychology topics that help you understand yourself and others, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next journey into the human mind. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and take care of your mind.